We're live.
We're live.
We're live. We're live.
Wow.
We are so live.
We are.
It's a joke. Welcome. It's in-person qualifying watch-along today. It's me. It's Katie. Tommy's off camera doing tweets, but I'm sure if Max gets pole, he'll start crying. So, welcome. British Grand Prix. We've got a mic, just want to say, playing up a little bit. So I apologise if some weird noises happen. But very excited to be bringing the qualifying watch-along to you here. We are visiting the British Grand Prix over the course of the weekend, but we came inside, away from the track, to bring you the action, to bring you the content. We could be sat in a grandstand right now.
We could.
But we're not, are we? We
We're
are
not.
right here, ready to go. So, we haven't actually started yet. We've got 1 minute and 37 seconds. I'll get the timer ready so that you can actually see me doing the timer in person, which is Tommy, careful.
A little bit of playback there.
Tommy's our sound man as well, actually. We won't
is.
look down the camera too much because I think that would look very odd for people
Yeah, I feel a
watching.
bit like we're newsreaders
but I was
or
just kind of
something at a
addressing
desk.
it. But here we are. Hello, Matthew. Nice T-shirt. Thank you very much, Rufus. Nice of you to join us as
Thank
we
you.
see Lewis Hamilton getting in his car. Of course, one practice session, Katie. One practice session. Tommy, I can see his grin from here. He's so happy that, it's Friday and it's qualifying.
It's so unnatural. It's very weird. But yes, less practice will hopefully make for an insane qualifying. I say that probably be Verstappen on pole. I think all three of us have chosen Verstappen pole in our predictions.
We have.
So sorry we haven't spiced that up a bit, but yeah, this looks like it's going to be his weekend again, which should be good.
Well, good if you're Tommy.
Yeah.
Good if you're a Max Verstappen fan. Not good if you want a close title fight because
Or
right
Lewis
now,
Hamilton.
yeah, or Lewis Hamilton, because yeah, they are running away with it. I Red Bull a little bit, especially in the hands of Max Verstappen. We might be a little bit further behind than what we usually are, but not as bad as Tommy's taken the biggest glug of water and squashing the plastic bottle whilst drinking. So apologies for any noises that just happened. But welcome everybody in the chat. Is Tommy coming on? He might just pop his head by when he stops being the founder. Of course, contractually obliged.
People
Joke.
will believe this.
It's fine.
Cars have left.
Cars on track. Cars are not far away from where we are, but we can't see
timer.
them. Which is hello, little slide from the Alfa Romeo coming out there. Let me start the timer because if I don't, everyone will start crying. So
You don't want that.
hopefully we're not too far behind what everyone else is doing. So we're going to start it right about now. Boom. The timer is going. The timer's counting down. We're going to stay with the comments as well. Let's see. Is anyone going to Silverstone this week? Or going maybe Saturday or Sunday? It is only Friday. So a lot of people may still be at work and not being able to get a day off to go and watch qualifying on a Friday. My head's still not round it.
No, it's going to be really interesting because I don't think we've ever. Oh no, we did some qualifying last year, didn't we, in Imola, where we only had one practice session because they got rid of the Friday. So it has been done before, but yeah, this is going to be intense. A bit like our camping that we're doing, eh? Nice little plug.
Yeah. So for those of you that are wondering, we're actually doing a WTF1 camping experience. We've been mentioning it over the last few months. WTF1 Clubhouse, it's been called. And it's actually pretty all right, isn't it? I'm
It's been
actually
good
really
fun.
enjoying myself. We've there's quite a few WTF1 fans over here that are just obviously camping with us. We've got a nice little area, bar, drinks, obviously arcade machines, sim, DJ. It's a good vibe, and it seems like everyone's really enjoying it. So next year, bigger and better. Really looking forward to that. But obviously, we're still very much in this week at the moment.
We are.
But yeah, so some of the cars are out on track at the moment. How are you feeling about some commentary, Katie? Because I know you've done a watch along with Tommy.
I have.
But I think that was very calm vibes because Tommy's a very calm, cool, collected
is.
character,
He's
whereas
cool as a
I just start
cucumber.
screaming if anything happens. So how do you think you're going to vibe with that sort of ambience?
Well, hopefully I will get hyped up, and
You better
normally,
do.
yeah. But normally when I'm watching qualifying or the race or whatever, I'm the one that's like on the edge of my seat, and
People are saying timer. I mean, I definitely Oops, that's the wrong. I don't know why I've opened that. Let's close that. Timer's definitely. Oh, the timer's stopped. That's really irritating. Why is the timer stopped? Okay, it's when I go full screen. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So if I do this, and I come out of full screen, it should still do the timer. There we go.
That's
lovely.
Perfectly.
So like you would think maybe however many races I'm into the doing qualifying watch along setup that I would be able to do it. Anyway.
Is that right? Because it says 17 minutes and it says 15 minutes.
Yeah, but that's so now it's updated. So there you go. We're fine.
Oh,
we're all good.
beautiful.
It's there. It's good.
Yeah,
We're Gucci. Lando Norris, P2 in free practice, Katie. I'm sorry. We're already getting excited. You
Yes.
jumped a little bit there.
I did. That was quite loud. Oh, sorry.
Lando's helmet.
Yes, thank you, NHS. He's done a lovely tribute helmet. He likes to do helmets that are a little bit different for the British Grand Prix. Obviously, last year we had the one designed by Eva, 6-year-old Eva, with the Lando Norris,
Norris,
yeah. But no, we were in the grandstands, weren't we, earlier for FP1, and it was so nice because everybody was applauding and cheering with the cars on track, but got particularly loud when we had the Brits come by of Norris and Russell and Hamilton. So, yeah, it's just so good to be back at a racetrack and seeing fans and obviously the cars on track as a good thing as well.
Interestingly, the decibels for Norris and Russell going past were maybe even louder than Hamilton.
I thought that,
which was, they've had a little bit of a freeze, for us at least. There you go. They've had a bit of a problem with the onboard camera. But yeah, there was, especially Lando, there was a big roar when he came round. He has won the hearts of so many people.
He has.
It's crazy to think that only a couple of years ago we made a marshmallow video with him where he couldn't keep as many marshmallows in his mouth. And nobody really cared about that video because they're like, Lando who? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, he had a hole in his trousers. He had kitchen roll in his oven. And here's Lando coming around the final corner. He's going to set a 1 minute 28.2, which actually is not particularly quick, considering I think Max did a 27.0 in FP1 earlier. So maybe the track a little bit green at the moment.
Warming himself up to hopefully pull out some almighty lap times later on in the session.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Russell's 3/10 down at the moment. Latifi's slotted in P9 with second down. George should go quite a bit quicker than this if he doesn't balls up this last sector. But I wasn't expecting really Williams to do particularly well around here because it's usually very windy around Silverstone. So, and the Williams doesn't seem to work particularly well unless it's tranquil conditions, you know, and there's their one particular window in Austria and they weren't able to take advantage of it, which is very sad. But George has gone 3/10 quicker than Latifi, which is pretty good going. As we see a lovely little slow-mo of the vortices off the rear wing.
Oh, that's a big
I know,
word.
don't really understand it.
No,
But,
it sounded good.
Streamlabs was in the chat saying countdown. Streamlabs themselves.
Did last time. I don't understand.
It must be the bot. If it's not a bot, I'm sorry to whoever's doing that.
Yeah.
Doing that. But anyway, Katie not having Perez in top 5. God.
I know. Final thoughts. I thought I would change it up a little bit, which I'm sure all the Perez fan club are not happy about, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to chuck a little bit of Carlos Sainz in there and see how he gets on. So he'll probably be out in Q2 because for me doing that. So sorry, Carlos.
Is it possible to increase your volume, Tamas? This is a problem we've been having. We'll get. I think I'm projecting quite loudly. I think people in Silverstone can probably hear me, but yes, we will make sure we try and speak as loud as possible. We've had a little bit of microphone issues, as I mentioned at the start, but we move as Hamilton's already gone half a second quicker than Lando in the first sector alone. That's a bit juicy on the soft tyres from Lewis Hamilton as he flies through Copse Corner. Unbelievable direction change through here, and also Maggots and Beckett's one of the best places, in my opinion, to see the cars at their absolute worst in terms of aggression. And let's see how close he is. Oh, a second clear.
Wow.
Much better.
This is what we want to see.
It really is.
Quicker times.
So not sure why everyone's going so tentatively at the start of this session.
Checo goes fastest. He's obviously upset with me not putting him in the top 5 that he thinks I'll show her.
Absolutely.
And
Bottas
beats
27.4. Hamilton round the final corner, 27.1. Not the fastest in the last sector, though.
No, he wasn't. That's interesting.
Interesting. So Leclerc slotted in P3. Perez 6/10 back on Hamilton. As what's that? You found a nice little pause of me pointing towards the camera. Lovely. Sonoda slotted in P6. Tommy will be happy about that. Verstappen has got a Mercedes in the way, gets through nice and smoothly. Let's see what some people are saying in the chat. Why not at the track? Enjoy the cars instead of streaming. Paul, because of the content, my friend. Paul, we're doing this for you. Appreciate it. We'll see a lot of on-track action tomorrow and Sunday. But look, qualifying watch-along, we can't miss it. And we can still see the action, albeit not in real life. 10 minutes to go. Tom is peering over. He knows it's starting to get pretty spicy in this qualifying session. Tommy, what are your thoughts so far? Shout.
I'm just waiting to see what Max does, to be honest, because Mercedes looking quicker than I thought they'd be.
Yes, let's see through this middle sector. 2 tenths up.
Oh.
Max Verstappen. Could he jump into the 1 minute 26s? Most likely, if he is able to smash this last sector.
Oh, a bit of a messy exit.
Remember to project your voice, Katie.
Yeah, sorry everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry everyone.
There you go, much better. George has gone up to P7 with a 28.2. Max goes fastest, 4 tenths clear. Tommy has his eyebrows raised. That is some good stuff from Max Verstappen. So Vettel hasn't set a time, neither Stroll. Ocon's on his outlap. Why are Aston Martin chilling out so much in this Q1?
And then, as if by magic, TV direction show us the Aston Martin.
Interesting. Stroll has just done a 28.9, so first it said no time, and now all of a sudden he was on a flying lap. So Stroll only goes 16th, which is not good at all. Ocon, that's a good stat actually, has been knocked out of Q1 in the last 2 races. He had a bit of a shocker in Austria, didn't he?
He has, and the team have decided to change the chassis to see if that's going to help things. But yes, I hope for his sake. It seemed that he has signed this new contract till 2024 and then has just had a bit of a shocker, really. His performance in qualifying particularly has been beyond disappointing. So hopefully he's able to finally get into at least Q2. But we'll see. Alonso will probably put it into Q3 because that's what Alonso seems to be doing at the moment. He's absolutely out-driving that car, but then that's what he's known for.
Indeed he is. Ocon currently through the middle sector. Magnussen, Beckett still can't get over that complex of corners. It is awesome as the helicopter gets in the way slightly of our shot there. 4 tenths up is Ocon on Sainz, who's down in 15th at the moment.
Wow.
Leclerc is up in P4. Bit of pressure on old Carlos. Danny Rick as well, down in 13th. It's a big gap, Katie. It's a big gap. Like between the top 3, well, actually the top 2 and the rest of the drivers. Ocon gets an absolute slide on and goes P6. There's a lot of time on the table. I don't know why everyone's so slow out there.
No, because even from Verstappen to Leclerc, and Leclerc is currently in P4, after that is a second. And like that's a big gap in Formula 1 to be a second off of these times. But I mean, maybe with track evolution and stuff that these times will get closer. But yeah, it's like you say, a lot of time out there that people aren't. And Vettel pit, so I'm guessing he's going to come back later for...
Oh my God!
No,
Leclerc nearly bins it. Jesus Christ! That was so close.
That was ridiculous.
Oh my swapper McGee! Did you see that, Tommy?
I did miss it.
You'll see a replay of it very shortly. It was like once, and then it was twice, and then it was 3 times a lady.
He did a good job to get that back and not end up in the gravel.
Yeah, that was huge saves.
Yeah.
And here comes Alonso around the final corner. P15 at the moment. He goes up to P4.
Nice.
Tommy says, wow.
That's Tommy's observation. Come on, we want to see a replay of that Leclerc.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I hope so, because that was an enormous save.
Yeah. I know we've got time still left, but drivers at risk are Vettel, who's P15, but Ricciardo is currently in the elimination zone, which he really needs to up his game with these qualifyings, doesn't he? Because he's just having... Oh, here you go. Here's a replay.
Watch this then, Tommy. Riding on board with Charles Leclerc. Let's lose this twice.
Oh.
You don't tend to save cars these days.
No. Tommy says you don't tend to save cars these days, and that was a big save. Absolute slide McGee, as I like to call that. But Charles Leclerc, fortunately for him, is up in P6. What's happened to Max Verstappen then round the final corner?
He's pretty much nearly done the same.
Could you not, Tommy? I know you're really popular, but you know
Well,
you don't need to
WhatsApp
tell
message.
everybody. So Max had a bit of a wobbly round the final corner as well. But let's take a look then. As you say, Ricciardo again under pressure. I mean, Lando's only in P10 at the moment.
Yeah.
But it just feels like some of the drivers just haven't set representative lap times yet, which is a bit of pressure going into the final 5 minutes.
I mean, the triple header, and we've talked about this a load on watch-alongs and podcasts and stuff like that, but Ricciardo didn't really seem to... Sorry.
I'm projecting, so I feel like you can have more of the mic. And
Okay,
I'll just,
thank you.
You know, I think that's
Yeah, I feel like that
layer
will
it.
work.
Right.
That will work,
Carry
hopefully. Ricciardo didn't really have the best of times at street circuits, which are circuits that he's, particularly good at. And then the triple header, he was like, I'll use that and try and have a fresh slate. Is that a term? We'll go with it. And clean slate. Thank you, Tommy. And yeah, he's just not gelling with that McLaren quite yet. Whether that's his driving style isn't maybe suited to the way the car is, or he's just getting used to the Mercedes power unit in the back of the car, because I mean he's literally been driving with Renaults, with Red Bull, and then obviously with Renault. So I don't know, and I don't think he really has answers either.
We will see some answers in these last 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Pierre Gasly's down in P11. We've got some very unlikely candidates. Joe Vanazzi's up there in P8, doing a pretty sterling job in that Alfa Romeo. Ricciardo's on a flying lap. I'm imagining we're going to see some green sectors. We've seen one from Pierre Gasly so far. What does Danny Ric do in that first sector compared to Vettel? A 10th up. It's not exactly astounding, is it?
No.
Gasly's 7/10 down on Verstappen's time, which, if he has a good last sector, will put him sort of in the top 7, I'd say.
Why
is
have we
that
suddenly
camera doing?
spun the camera? That was a bit...
Having a bit of a shocker with the cameras at the moment.
Yeah, normally when they do that, there's been some sort of incident, but I think it was just maybe a drunk cameraman.
A drunk cameraman, I hope not.
Yeah.
Let's see what Gasly does round the final corner. I think he's going to go pretty high up. Goes to P5. Does Pierre Gasly. Beats Tsunoda by a country mile, Tommy. Just thought I'd just pop that one in there. Lando's improving. Ricciardo is improving. 4.5 tenths up on Vettel. So yeah, Alonso, pretty decent lap, Tommy reckons, up in P4. We should see some improvements come the end of this session. Danny Ric, where can he go? He's going to have to improve quite significantly with the amount of drivers on an outlap at the moment. Here we go then. Danny Ric goes P6. That's pretty decent.
That's promising. I mean, he'll take that, but like you say, there are so many other drivers out there.
Lando goes 3rd.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
It's only a couple of tenths off Lando, but it really does depend. Tsunoda, that's going to put him in big trouble.
Yes.
Big trouble. He's only 13th fastest, Tommy. 13th fastest.
At least he's not in the wall, though. So.
At least he's not in the wall. Qualifying feels pointless, says Josu Pagan. I think qualifying is the most important part of the weekend, if anything. Sprint qualifying may be the pointless part, but we will see. What else have we got? Lando, let's go. Let's go, even, not go. Let's go, says Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much support for Lando. I mean, obviously, we didn't have fans here in 2020, so the last time that Lando would have driven in front of a home crowd was during his first ever British Grand Prix. But yeah, so many like McLaren fans and merch that we've seen, people wearing merch and stuff. He is a big fan favourite, and you can see why. He's a good driver and a nice lad.
Indeed. George is obviously at risk, as we can see. Right now it's Vettel, Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Stroll and Mazepin. Mick Schumacher is out-qualifying an Aston Martin at this precise moment.
Wow.
Which is quite surprising, probably more by Lance Stroll standards than anything. But it seems like some of the drivers are out of sync. So we've seen the likes of Norris and Ricciardo go and improve. But all these drivers are just starting their laps now. So Gasly's in the pits, Alonso's in the pits. They're not going to improve in P5 and 6. I still would be a little bit sweaty if I'm Danny Ric. Definitely if I'm Tsunoda, because there's a lot of drivers still on outlaps, as I said. Russell's starting his lap time. Can he get anywhere near the top sort of 10 in this Q1 session. You'd like to think he's going to get through Q1. He's done it every single time this year so far.
He has. I like that they've put Verstappen as the guidance as well. Like, obviously very optimistic. I mean, in FP1, I think George was classified P20. So I'm not saying that's going to be representative of his qualifying, but obviously maybe just couldn't get things in gear to get in some good lap times during FP1.
Seeing a lot of greens out there, a lot of green sectors happening, which is going to put Tsunoda especially at risk. Unless Tsunoda goes for another lap, but it's so hot out there that the soft tyres are going to struggle. Russell's only half a second back on Verstappen. With a decent last sector, this is going to put him in the top 6.
This is going to be impressive.
Yeah, this is a really good lap from Russell. Mick Schumacher's having a decent little run as well.
Yeah.
I think that's probably actually on Raikkonen. Latifi goes P14, so right now he's now not in Q2 as Raikkonen goes P14. Where does George Russell go? This is what I want to know. He comes over the line, he goes P8.
Nice.
George Russell, so he displaces the 2 Ferraris down to 9th. Then Giovinazzi goes to P6.
Hello.
Take a bow, my friend. Mick Schumacher is only as good enough for 18th.
That was messy from Vettel, but P5.
Vettel P5. That's a very good lap from the Aston Martin.
Driver at risk is Tsunoda, so bye-bye Tsunoda.
Yeah, she's already
bye-bye
written him off.
Ocon, possibly. And
Ocon goes 3rd. Okay.
I'm so sorry, Ocon. I take that back.
Yeah, take that one back. Stroll only 15th.
Oh, no.
So Tsunoda has to improve. Perez goes P2. Sainz is down in 13th.
Both Ferraris now looking dangerous ground.
P4 though for Sainz.
Good,
Leclerc should improve as well because he's on a green lap. He goes 2nd. Danny Rick's 13th.
Where's Ricciardo going to go?
Up to P5.
P5. Come on, he's actually made it through.
So Tsunoda has to improve and does not improve. Tsunoda out in Q1 with Raikkonen, Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Mazepin. Russell makes it through to Q2 once again.
Legend.
Hamilton finishes 35 thousandths of a second behind Verstappen at the end there. So still couldn't beat Max even after the track bedding in at the end of Q1. That is very interesting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I am astounded at Antonio Giovinazzi. Although it's now gone to P12 with everybody improving their lap times, that is a stunning effort, especially as his teammate Kimi Raikkonen, a world champion, is out. So, not bad.
Yeah, that is...
fair play.
Fair play indeed. So, to recap, it's Tsunoda, Raikkonen, Latifi, Schumacher and Mazepin, your bottom 5. They will not be continuing in qualifying today. Stroll just about gets away with it in P15. Decent performance from Giovinazzi, up in P12, Raikkonen out in 17th. So Kimi's looking more and more washed up as the Grand Prix go on, which is a bit sad to see, but I mean, he is coming towards the end of his F1 career.
He is, and although I like Kimi Raikkonen, I'm very much somebody that likes new talent coming in. And for some of these drivers, I obviously don't want to speak on behalf of Kimi because he obviously loves it. These drivers have racing in their blood, but sometimes, I don't know, he just seems like he's not bothered. He's not really got the effort to put in. So, I mean, I would think this is probably going to be Kimi's last year. But we'll say that he'll probably be here till he's 50 because he can.
Indeed. There is our 20th placed driver. I'm going to see a replay. What's been going on his final lap? Has he gone for a little spin?
Oh, he has.
Of course he has. I just know the British fans would have gone way at that particular moment. But that ruined his final lap time, and he will start last. I think has he started last every single race this year? I think probably.
I would assume so. There might be a few people that have been demoted with like penalties,
penalties
and stuff.
From pure pace.
Yeah.
Someone says Mazepin spun. The weekend is complete.
Yeah.
Jack says, honestly, enjoying having a qualifying session on Friday. My problem is with how poorly the FIA structured the sprint race itself. If there were some real stakes, I think less people would complain. I think I've been quite vocal that I don't think it's going to be very good, but at the same time, just kind of trying to just save some judgment till we've actually seen the racing. But I guess on paper, it doesn't look great, but it will be fun to see the drivers go full send for 17 laps in terms of the actual tyre life. They're not going to try and save many tyres or the actual sort of conservation of tyres throughout 17 laps. So that could be interesting, but I'm very, I don't think there's going to be much overtaking personally.
No, I don't see why you would risk, well, especially as the top three only get points. And even then, like, third place is 1 championship point. And I'll say this now, and it'll probably be that the championship is decided by a single point and I'll look like an idiot. But I can't imagine drivers risking absolutely everything unless you're like George Russell and by some miracle you're in P4 and you want that first championship point in a Williams.
If George Russell's in P4,
then
I think
we've
he'll
had
take
a banger of a
P4
race.
quali start, to be fair.
But like, I just can't see the drivers are going to be too aggressive for just a few points.
Tommy,
I
you're
feel like,
here.
yeah.
Do you want to come round and say
Come in.
hello?
Because I totally disagree. So
Oh,
Here we go.
hello.
Come around here and project your voice into that microphone.
hello, everyone. Yes, I completely disagree because they're racing drivers, and we've seen it so many times that they can easily just sit back. You know, like, think of like Imola, where George Russell went for that move on Bottas. He was in the points, didn't need to do it, and he still went for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he still did it. Like, I feel like, you know, it might not be the best race in the world. I'm not going to pretend that it will be. But I guess from my point of view, you're getting an extra race instead of a qualifying session. So you have to look
Instead
at it
of a
that
practice
way.
session.
Instead of a
Yeah.
practice session, yeah. So you're not, you're just watching. You're watching a race. There'll be some racing, might not be the best, but it's instead of a practice session, which you all know how much I love practice.
You
do.
love
I do.
practice. Everyone's saying hi in the chat to you.
Ah.
Founder, speak up, says Kieran.
I'm sorry. Yes, but they will go for moves, I'm sure, because they're racing drivers.
There you go.
Bye, Tommy.
Thank you so much, Tommy. You're walking 4 steps to your
Yeah.
chair. But I'm sure for Q3, if you want to sit behind us and start screaming, you are more than welcome. It's up to you. You know, it depends how much you love our fans. That's basically it, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
there you go. Right, Q2 is underway at some point. I like these little graphics, the ones where it shows you where the drivers brake compared to their teammates, and Ocon braking 3 meters later than Fernando Alonso, and having a 1.3 G difference in maximum G-force. Huh?
Yeah, I like these graphics, and then they show that kind of thing, and everybody's
1.3
like, what?
G?
And then it just disappears.
Surely not. Surely that's a typo. You're telling me you brake 3 meters later and you're experiencing an extra body weight on you, pretty much? No,
That seems
not having that.
crazy.
Right, green light at the end of the pit lane.
Timer.
Which means it's time for the timer.
Beautiful.
Here we go. Waiting 8
Right.
seconds, and then we will be timering it up for Q2. Very excited. Very excited indeed. Here we go.
This is going
And
to be
go. Boom.
a close qualifying, I hope anyway, because, well, lots of those guys were improving their lap times, and we did see quite a lot of time available between, you know, from 1st to 10th or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of people here that I feel should make it through to Q3, and some of them won't, and I have a really horrible feeling that one of those will be Daniel Ricciardo. So please prove me wrong. Please.
He has to have a good weekend at some point. I love Daniel Ricciardo with all my heart, but the problem is he just hasn't been able to hook up a weekend. Spain was the only time, but I feel like that was more of a Lando not really turning up. Like, he messed up his qualifying a little bit and things like that. But we haven't really seen the Danny Rick we all know and love. You know, the aggressive. We've seen the sort of glimpses of it, but nothing like, Daniel Ricciardo. He's going to push McLaren forward. Everyone's thinking it's going to be Lando. Lando's performance at Austria race 2 was just redonkulous. His race pace was on par with the Mercedes, which is just, he was so far ahead of everybody else.
He was. He did.
I'm sounding like a Lando stan. I think he's a great guy, and I really want him to do well. But I'm not blinded by it because that's Charles Leclerc. But I try to be as objective as possible. But no one can deny that Lando is having the absolute season of his life at the moment, and he's really becoming a fan favourite as well as a top driver. And he's not just about the memes.
He's not. And if I was Lando Norris, I mean, obviously he signed a multi-year extension on his contract earlier this year, but I wonder if he had left it a few more races, how much more money he could be demanding, because he has been putting on such an incredible performance. Like, yeah, I can't think of really another driver that, I mean, we say this all the time, but like, we knew Lando was good, but the step up that he's made just from 2020 until 2021 has been outstanding. So, yeah, I mean, he'll be happy because he has a contract, but...
Well, those contracts can always be broken.
That's true.
I'm sure there are performance clauses in those contracts as well somewhere. I mean, I'm sure the teams don't want to use that straight away because they know of Daniel Ricciardo's talent. We've seen it many, many times, but yeah, it's just there's obviously a transition period between okay, it's a new car to you've had enough time in the car now. What's going on? And I think McLaren even said themselves, didn't they? They were disappointed with the pace that Danny Rick's shown so far, because if you basically had Carlos Sainz in that car that maybe was slightly better than Lando last year, you're looking at an unbelievable start to the season for McLaren. Of course, you got that on Lando's side, but Danny Rick hasn't been able to bring in the points that would easily have secured them P3 in the championship right now.
It's an interesting time to be Daniel Ricciardo, but I can guarantee that there are not many fans out there that just don't want him to do well, because like you say, he's such a lovely guy, insane, like on a good day, unbelievable racer. And it seems, although, you know, he's a smiling assassin and he's a very funny guy, but then when he gets in the car, he's super aggressive. You know, he says he's a honey badger, that's his spirit animal. But I feel like he's not quite got that shine, or what's the word I'm looking for, but he's not quite himself at the moment. Pizzazz, yeah. He's not quite himself. He's probably beating himself up because he's not performing as well as he probably thought he would.
Absolutely. Hamilton goes fastest with the 26.6. Bottas has gone second. Ricciardo third. We're not seeing any times at the moment. We're just seeing who drives for where. Lando actually stops in behind Danny Rick on that first. So they're listening, basically. That's what Danny Rick has done, a very good lap there, to be fair. Only half a second off what Hamilton's managed. What's Verstappen doing in this middle sector? He's not going purple in Sector 1 or Sector 2. Of course, they're all on the softs, which is another thing because of sprint qualifying. What they do now in Q2 is going to be the tyre they start on for the... No, it's free choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's free choice, which means...
Because they've only got softs.
And what about the race?
Free choice again.
Is it free choice completely?
I believe so, yeah.
Check that, Tommy.
Check that.
Verstappen goes fastest with a 26.5, just under a tenth quicker than Hamilton. Where does George Russell go? Can he get into Q3 in that absolute donkey? Let's have a look. P7, but that's because no one else has actually said a lap time just yet. He's just behind the likes of Danny Rick and Norris. He's gone faster than Stroll, though. So he's got Ocon, Vettel, Alonso, Giovinazzi, Gasly, and both the Ferraris waiting. And free choice of tyres for both. Now that's something that excites me for Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a little bit.
Because you could see a Verstappen starting on hards and a Hamilton starting on softs. Yeah, just to do something good. Which is very exciting. That's turned my sprint qualifying around a little bit, but that's not sprint qualifying format. That's just giving free choice of tyres.
Yeah.
Ooh, depending on how we do with this. Anyway, Ocon goes 8th. Alonso only 10th on that first run.
These guys have been listening in. These are all the people that we've said need to
improve, and they have. Incredible stuff.
It's because we're so near Silverstone. We're like telepathically sending thoughts.
We're sending the positive vibes to the struggling drivers. Where does Gasly go? I imagine he'll go into the top 10. He goes 9th fastest, does Mr. Pierre Gasly. So right now in the drop zone, Alonso, Stroll, and then we're waiting for times from Giovinazzi and the two Ferraris. Ferrari haven't looked exactly extravagantly fast in the start of this qualifying session. Giovinazzi only 13th. That's going to be disappointing.
But he isn't an alpha.
He did well in Q1 though. That's what I mean.
He did, yeah.
He showed some decent pace. That was a pretty mediocre lap, I think. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
What did he do? He's running wide. There's so much dust that comes off the exit of Copse Corner there. That's and it can't do the floor any good either. That didn't look a comfortable ride, did it? No, I mean, I'm sure they don't want to go out there, but the amount of speed they fly through there is sometimes inevitable. It's such a quick track, this, which is one of the reasons why not only the fans love watching it, but the drivers love driving it, because it's just such a challenge and such a thrill.
Oh, a little
People
bit
are
of
saying,
traffic.
why are you not at the circuit? Because we're bringing you the content.
If we tried to film this in a grandstand, not only would we
Shot.
be... Yeah, well, pretty much. But you wouldn't be able to hear us over the air
We
horns,
wouldn't be able
the
to
fans.
do it. We're not allowed to do a
No.
qualifying watch along at the race because, one, you wouldn't be able to hear us, and two, it's filming restrictions. Leclerc goes P7. This is the sacrifices we're making for you guys to
this
do
is
the
a
qualifying
serious
watch
thing.
along. So, people go, why are you not on the circuit? That's a bit silly. It's like, well, because we love you guys and we want to share the experience. Sainz goes P7 just ahead of Charles Leclerc by, well, not even 0.02 of a second. So, very close between the two Ferrari drivers. And, for the content, as someone says, Pipi2 says that. Vettel is flying today, says Ernest. Vettel is up in P5.
Wow,
Stroll is down in P14.
that is
Didn't
quite
Lawrence
a
Stroll
gap.
come out and say that the reason for Vettel's slow start to the season was due to technical difficulties or something? It was very vague. That's what I read somewhere. And that, of course, Lawrence was very happy with his son's performance over the course of the season, saying he was a match for Vettel, which, at some races he has been, because most of my predictions has been Stroll out qualifies Vettel.
Did you go for that this
I
weekend?
can't remember. I don't think I did.
I don't think you did.
I'm glad I didn't right now
Yeah.
because Stroll's not looking very good.
I think it was Tommy said this in an earlier podcast that with signing Vettel, it's great. Tommy's nodding. He's like, yes, I said this. I am intelligent. But with signing Vettel to partner Stroll, if Stroll beats Vettel, then Stroll has beaten a 4-time world champion. Whereas if it's the other way around and Vettel came in and beat Stroll, then Daddy Stroll, or whatever we call him,
Daddy Strong Master Plan.
it can say, oh, well, he wasn't exactly going to beat a 4-time world champion in the first season of Aston Martin.
It was a win-win
he's
situation.
a smart guy.
At the same time, he has performed pretty well, Stroll.
Yeah,
but
he has.
we can't just say that it's down to his dad. Of course, he's kind of proved that, there's pay drivers in the past and there's pay drivers of today, and they are worlds apart of their talent, things like that. So, Stroll's not bad at all. Not bad at all. And considering he doesn't really look like he likes being there half the time, he doesn't do too badly in the car.
He doesn't. And one thing about Stroll that I've always remembered is that he did some, I can't exactly remember the endurance race or whatever it was, but he did some racing with 2 other drivers that I really respect. I believe one of them was Felix Rosenqvist and one is Robin Freitz, and they both give so much praise against Stroll, and they're 2 outstanding drivers, so if they're giving Stroll praise that he is a good driver. So I'm happy he's in F1. Like you say, sometimes he's not got quite as much personality and charisma as other drivers on the grid, but he did do an outstanding Scottish impression in the press conference this week.
Did he?
Tommy and I watched it and we thought it was dubbed because he had his face mask on and we couldn't see his mouth move. He did some quote from Braveheart and it was
Really?
unbelievable.
Stroll showing personality.
I know. I just fell to the floor.
Okay. That's quite funny that you thought it was dubbed, but then I guess you wouldn't know if he's got a face mask on.
Exactly.
Let's get some questions in.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Rather than talk about Stroll's
Scottish impression.
incredible Scottish impression. What have we got? Questions. Can Russell pull it off once again to get himself into P3? I assume you mean Q3. Amazing, this driver, says Christoph Ribeiro. Can Russell get into Q3? I think it's going to need some serious lap times. I think he's 3 or so tenths away from that top 10. If I could see the gaps, that would help. But I know it's a decent chunk of time. So unless George can pull out an absolute worldie, and the problem is he doesn't have some drivers trying to sort of mix it with the mediums. So everyone's on the soft tyres.
Yeah.
It's the absolute pinnacle of everyone's performance. So maybe doesn't open up as many opportunities, although he did get into Q3 on the mediums in Austria, didn't he? So
That
yeah.
was mad. I really
Actually, no, it's under 2 tenths he's away.
Okay.
So it is possible, but it's going to require an absolute banger of a lap time.
Yeah, I quite like actually all the drivers being on the soft tyres because it is just like a level playing field, which is not something we often get to see because everybody's on different tyres.
I quite like it when they try and risk it on the mediums, though, because that almost
yeah.
puts them at risk a little bit. And,
Yeah,
we saw, especially in
Russian roulette.
Austria, where they were like, we don't want to start on the softs no matter what. And I think Ferrari actually went out in Q2 because they didn't want to try and qualify on the softs. So it does provide maybe a little bit more of a mix-up if they are forced on the mediums. But hey-ho, it's what it is. We've got this new format, and I'm excited to see what tyres some of the teams go for on Sunday.
Oh,
it's going to be
busy out there.
It's going to be really interesting. Yes, a lot of the cars are heading out now. 2.5 minutes remaining.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers. Perez and Vettel are the only two not out at the moment. Is Vettel thinking he hasn't really got much else left in the tank? You'd imagine he'll go out again, just purely down to track evolution. But the greyed out numbers means they are still in the pits at the moment.
It does, which to me seems a little bit odd.
They're waiting quite a long time, so
They
we'll
are.
see. Of course, Verstappen, Hamilton and Bottas are all out there at the moment because they've had such limited running that they almost need to go out there and keep bedding the car in. Like, they're not probably where they'd usually be if they'd had 3 practice sessions and the luxury of all that time.
I don't know if Perez and Vettel are going to go out.
They're not coming out, are they?
They're not, because they're going to have run out of time. No.
That's very strange.
And Perez, why would they risk not bringing Checo out?
I don't know, especially being half a second back. Maybe they just don't think there's that time on the table. But we've seen track evolution throughout the season. We've also seen it round here as well. But maybe they think it's too hot out there. I don't know.
That's really odd.
We're about to see if that is the right decision.
I am going to say it's not, but yeah, we will see.
We will see indeed.
Obviously, I am a technical engineer, so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know exactly how much the track has evolved since the last runs. Carlos Sainz is starting his lap time at the moment. He's currently in P7. Right now it's Gasly, Russell, Alonso, Stroll and Giovinazzi going out. Gasly would be a bit of a shocker if he went out in Q2. Here's Mr. Carlos Sainz. Getting on the power nicely in that Ferrari. Looking a match for Leclerc already again. He's ahead of Leclerc in this current session and genuinely seems to have a bit more of a stranglehold, especially in the last few races in qualifying over Charles Leclerc. And he said that Leclerc is the best qualifier he's ever come up against.
Yeah, Carlos Sainz has really impressed me this year. I mean, people talking about him like Charles Leclerc was on the Beyond the Grid podcast that they have with F1, and he was saying, I don't know somebody that I've never seen somebody work so hard as Carlos does. He spends all his free time at the factory, and he's taking this very, very seriously, and it's showing because this is undoubtedly, for me, probably the person that's sort of changed teams that has impressed the most.
This is a problem now because he's only just over a tenth down on Verstappen. Perez is in the pits. As we mentioned, the Ferrari could go ahead of Perez here, and you've got Leclerc as well, less than 2/10 down on Verstappen's time. Bottas only improves to third, but Hamilton goes 26.0. That's nearly half a second quicker than Verstappen. I think Red Bull have really messed up here, especially Aston as well. We could see a lot of improvements here. So Sainz goes to P4, Gasly only 10th. That's a bit of a shocker. So maybe not all the teams have the pace. Leclerc 5th, Perez now down to 6th. Lando's had a steady first sector. Giovinazzi only to P14. Here's Stroll, 15th at the moment. Only stays 15th.
That's bad.
Norris only 9th. But there's only Ocon, Russell and Alonso out there.
How's Alonso's
Ocon can't
time
do it.
going? No.
What's George Russell got? And Alonso. Alonso over the line goes 10th. Gasly's out in Q2. George Russell, come on! Yo! P7! You beauty!
Unreal.
Wow, what a lap time!
Oh, you can see how happy the guys are in the garage. That is awesome.
George Russell! That's going to get a tweet. Unreal.
And
oops, I forgot to set the
you did.
thing. I've just said it live now.
Oh, look how happy he is. That is awesome. And also Perez P6, Vettel P8. So the gamble did pay off. Oh, here's the George Russell team radio. Oh, bless him. Come on, are we through? He says as he's shaking his head, and you can see.
He's very happy,
isn't he?
Is. He is a very happy man. What a lap.
Yeah, that
came from
unreal.
nowhere. I can't believe Gasly's out.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, Yuki out in Q1, Gasly out in Q2. That is not an ideal weekend for the AlphaTauri team.
So Vettel
But
made
hey,
it after all that.
He did.
So Perez and Vettel both made it. So it's Alonso, Gasly, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Stroll out. The top 10 were Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Vettel, Ricciardo, Norris. Crucially, Hamilton improved to a 26.0. Verstappen also did do a lap time, but could only get within 0.3 of Lewis. Game on again.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Tommy?
This is
A lot closer than you expected. 25 thousandths of a second Alonso missed out on knocking out Norris.
How much?
25,000th of a second. Yeah.
But that's the thing. This isn't actually qualifying.
Yeah, this is so.
This is pre-qualifying
just qualifying
for the
for a
qualifying
race.
race.
Yeah.
I can't get my head around that.
And everyone's going to say whoever gets pole is pole, but they're not technically.
Yeah,
So-
this is the thing.
So now there is an actual chance that George Russell will finish in the top 10 in sprint qualifying
And not get a point.
and not get a point
oh,
in the real
don't.
race.
It's happening.
Oh no.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Because it's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, with it being a 17-lap race, no pit stops, it's literally just, defending your
floor,
position.
yeah.
So, wow. Okay, Lando was very lucky there.
He was.
Where did Danny Rick finish in all of
Ninth.
that? Ninth. So just ahead.
Just ahead of Nando, yeah.
Did you say Nando?
I did, and I meant Lando. But I just was so excited.
Fernando? Were you trying to...
I'm like merging them all into one driver.
Well,
It's
technically, he
Nando.
was just ahead of Nando, because that's Fernando as well, if that's who you were on
That's
about.
actually exactly what I meant, Matt.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. I saved you there. No
You
worries.
did, thank you. You got my back. But
Giovinazzi less than 4 tenths away from Q3, but finishing 14th in the end. Very surprised to see Pierre Gasly. That's the first time that
he's
we've not
like
really seen him
normally-
get through to Q3, which is what is going on with
What
the
is-
cameras
the
today?
cameraman
I don't
is
know if this
having
is just F1 TV. This might actually be during the ad break. This might be because obviously they do have ads, don't they, during
Oh,
qualifying? So
yeah.
we continue to see the footage on F1 TV, but.
Oh.
So maybe,
maybe
some
that's
people
it.
aren't actually seeing this, but the people that are watching F1 TV will. So, yeah, it's interesting, bit of camera work. But guys, more questions. We are going into Q3. Katie, your current predictions. Would you change any of them now? Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris, Bottas, Sainz. Would you change your Norris P3 at this point?
It was ambitious. I'll be honest, but he might
look
pull
at that
something
stat.
out.
I hate that stat
Yeah.
so much. What does 97.6% in corners mean?
I feel like they just make up these numbers as well.
That
They're
sort
like,
of stuff is not tangible.
No.
I don't understand what that means. Of course, there is data behind it,
Yeah.
but it's not data that we can absorb.
No, it's not easily readable, especially if you're like a new fan. I mean, we've been watching F1 for so long and look at that and go, what on earth is that all about? So for somebody new, that's just unnecessarily confusing.
Golche Akpinar says, I love you, Katie.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. I love you too.
There you go. Just thought I'd let you know.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any concerns about the lack of masking at Silverstone? Well, Don, it's a test event. So the government have approved this as a COVID test event, and at the end of the day, events have to happen. And in the UK, anyway, my understanding is the cases are going up, but the deaths and the hospitalizations aren't as high as they were before. So obviously the vaccines are doing their job. And, what really... I can understand, it feels premature a little bit walking around.
It's very weird, isn't it?
It feels so odd. It feels like
Yeah.
normal life again. And I forgot what that felt like.
I know. It's a bit sad, but it's true.
I think
Yeah.
for my perspective, yeah, it does feel a bit premature, maybe a little bit early, but at the same time, I absolutely needed this, and I think
Yeah.
a lot of people here also needed this kind of event. So for me, it's a difficult situation, but there are medical experts out there that approve this event. So
Yeah. We all had to, we've got negative COVID tests, which
Yeah,
we have
that's
to
true.
do 48 hours of entering the site and stuff. So we're doing all of that. There's plenty of hand sanitizer stations around, and still trying to maintain a bit of social distancing where you can. So, but yeah, I can appreciate for other countries that are maybe watching this where their COVID rules are still extremely strict, probably thinking, That's so unfair.
Yeah.
But I promise you, it has been done.
And we've gone through a fair slog of lockdowns and
Yeah.
things as well. So anyway, I hope everybody that's watching is staying safe and that you're all well and your families are well, because, you know, it's been a really horrible last 18 months. And snippets of reality are coming back in some countries. I don't know the situations in every country, but just sending you guys love, because, you know, it is difficult out there, and we're not out of it yet. But this is a glimpse into normality again, which I think a lot of us needed. So anyway, away from COVID talk.
Yeah, that was very
Yeah, I know.
heartfelt little message there.
Yeah, it was big love. You know, we've seen so many fans over the last couple of days, WTF1 fans walking around and saying how much they love our content, and I personally have missed it a lot. I'm sure these guys have as well, where, you know, all you see are comments and numbers on a screen. When you actually get to see you guys in real life, it's amazing. So
It is, and this is my first WTF1 event that I've done. So that's been an experience of people asking for photos and signatures and stuff, which I don't know why, but
I know,
I'll just...
especially signatures. I'm like, you really want me
I don't
to
have a
ruin your
signature.
notebook?
Yeah.
I know. Well, neither does Tommy. But you know, we won't talk about his signature. Anyway, Q3
We're
is
getting
underway.
distracted, but...
It's fine. It's called filling.
It is.
That's what happens when you're waiting for Q3 to start. But Q3 is underway. I'm starting the timer right about now. Lovely stuff. And we continue on. Any other questions before we get it? Russell in top 5?
Wow.
No.
That is bold.
No, probably
I
not.
thought my
Katie's
science in top 5 was a bit...
Katie's prediction of George Russell being 4th and trying to get a point by finishing 3rd might happen.
Oh my God, imagine.
Oh my goodness.
Can you imagine?
I might have just predicted the future there. I'm not going to go on about it. No, it won't happen, but...
Yeah. They probably didn't hear what Tommy said. But
oh, no, that's true.
thank you, Trish. Love you too. Actually, you said you loved the content, not me. But anyway,
Take
the
it.
content loves you too.
Well, you make the content, so you can take a bit of that.
That's certainly something. George finished 10th in the sprint race, not get points. He finishes 11th in the main race.
We need Frank. He's not here, I'm
I
afraid.
need Frank, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's an absolute disgrace. You're sat there chilling out, doing nothing. I'm joking. But Frank,
Yeah.
where are you?
Oh,
Not here.
That's
What a shame.
sad.
Anyway, we continue. We move. No cars out the pits just yet. 10 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in Q3. Of course, such hot conditions out there for Silverstone.
It's warm. I've burnt all the back of my legs from the sun today.
You have?
And that's not fun because they're really starting to hurt. But that's not the point.
Is it setting in, is it?
It really, yeah, I'm beginning to really regret not wearing sunscreen on my legs. So, well done me. But...
Well
it's
done you
fine.
indeed. But we move.
We do.
You'll be okay.
Well,
I'm
not
sure,
me.
I'm
With
sure
my
every-
burnt
I'm
legs,
sure
I
every-
won't be moving.
I'm sure everybody watching is really feeling sorry for you for being at the British Grand Prix.
Please,
Yeah.
get your violins out. Hashtag pray for Katie, all this kind of
all
stuff.
that stuff.
It's sad.
Interestingly, George isn't out the pits yet. I wonder if he's going to go for one run, perhaps
Ooh.
run out of tyres, because probably didn't expect to get into Q3, and he did definitely have 2 goes in Q2. So I wonder if he only has one
They've
go
got 5
remaining.
sets of these softs for
Yeah.
this. Oh, we can
So
see
yeah,
the
so he would have
F1
had 2 in
sprint
Q1, 2 in Q2, and now he only has 1 for the final go in Q3. So
Wow.
that'll be interesting to see where he manages. Of course, we'll wait till the end of the session because of track evolution and bedding the track in even more. So we'll see George for the final runs with everybody else, or he might run in the gap. We're not sure yet, but they're all on their outlaps. Tommy, you're going to come swoop round here. Oh, we need the toilet.
Oh.
You're going to go to the toilet. They're about to start Q3. Do you call yourself an F1 fan? Unbelievable. You had all that time during Q2 and Q3
Yeah,
to
listening to us
go to
fill
the
in
toilet.
about
Yeah,
coronavirus and stuff.
I know. Okay,
Okay.
well, good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, Max is off! No, he's not. Sorry, qualifying Watchalong.
Yeah.
For people that... Tommy said he's wet himself now. That's
Oh dear.
interesting.
What an image.
Anyway, Tommy's gone to the toilet, which means it's just me and Katie now. And everyone's winding up for their lap times at the moment. We've got Max Verstappen just coming out of the Maggots and Beckett's complex. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more racing action actually on the track tomorrow and Sunday, Katie.
Yes, well, I still keep forgetting it's Friday.
Yeah, it feels
really
like
is,
Saturday, doesn't it?
It does, and to have it so late as well. I mean, we don't normally, obviously, in other
it's nearly
countries.
5 to 7.
I know. In
Ooh,
other
look at
countries,
this. Very slow. Anyway,
they'll
sorry.
be saying, like, the poor Australians and stuff that are like, I think somebody said this is on at stupid, like, 3 or 4 in the morning or something. So, you know, not great for them, but for lots of other people, hopefully this will be better for them. They've done it so late. What are you laughing at?
I'm just in the comments of people going, "Don't do that, bruh," reacting to me saying Verstappen went off. Don't worry, Verstappen is still good.
He's
I'm
fine.
just kidding. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry about the delay as well, guys. We're having to obviously work through a different setup than we would when we're doing it from our own respective homes. Anyway, right, Q3, let's go. The first lap times are about to be put on the board. Hamilton and Verstappen are pretty much line astern on the track. Verstappen just slightly behind Hamilton. 27.3 for Hamilton in the first sector. Where does Max do? 27.4 for Max.
This is going to be close.
Okay. Advantage Mercedes by 1/10 of a second as we head into the middle sector. Are we going to get a third lap time F1? Or maybe not. No, maybe we don't deserve a third lap time. Either way, Hamilton's still purple in that first sector. And Tommy's come back now, and Hamilton is a 10th up on Verstappen in the first sector, Tommy. What? I know, what indeed. We did not expect this. Sainz goes fastest with a 27.6. Perez goes fastest with a 26.8. Hamilton is 6 tenths up. Verstappen is 0.6 up as well, but half a tenth back on Hamilton. This is going to be so close.
This is going to be good.
Come stand here, Tommy. Come here, right in the shot. Here we go. So Norris goes second, just only half a tenth behind Perez. Hamilton now round the fight. Bottas goes faster with a 26.5. Where does Hamilton go in all of this? It's a 26.1.
Wow.
Max Verstappen. Oh,
it's not done
P2. Advantage, Lewis.
I did not see that happening.
Neither did I.
No,
I thought
it's
it
the
was a
home
foregone
crowd.
conclusion.
Wow.
Well, we all did. We all put Verstappen pole. I know obviously things aren't
Provisional
set
poll.
yet.
Pre-qualifying poll, you'd call this.
Sorry, it's not pole, yeah.
It's not pole. Is it pole? No, it is
No,
pole.
it's not.
It doesn't count as pole
doesn't
position.
count as pole
Sprint
position.
qualifying now
So
counts
what is
as
it? It's just
pole
top?
position.
Pole position, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh no, I don't like this.
So this won't be Hamilton's 472nd pole position then? Okay.
It won't, no.
Interesting.
How
Wow.
has he done that?
That's impressive.
That is 26...
Russell's on his outlap. Sorry. I'm just so excited to see what he does.
26.1. I'm pretty sure we saw a 26.0 in Q2. I'm pretty sure Hamilton
I'm sure we
improved to a
did.
26.0.
Yeah.
So there's still time on the table out
Do you know
there.
what it is? It's the power of the best fans.
says he
Verstappen's
doesn't
saying I
like
don't get what's
go.
going on. He did complain of his power going, didn't he, in FP1?
Okay, so he's got a car that's understeering, or he's not particularly happy with it, from what we understood from that very small snippet of team radio. We're trying not to play the commentary out whilst it, 'cause obviously we haven't got our headphones on. But interesting. Advantage Hamilton, Tommy. Final thoughts?
Final thought.
It's going to end it here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Like, I did not see this happening at all. I don't think...
The thing is, this can all be undone by Hamilton getting a worse start than Verstappen into turn one. Like that.
It's
I
true.
want to check something. We did a poll of would Verstappen get pole because everyone thought it was a foregone conclusion.
Well, I mean, we all predicted Verstappen on pole because he was 8 tenths or so clear of Hamilton. That's a very cool helmet that Lewis has got this weekend. And George is on his outlap, as you say.
84%.
84% of you thought that Max Verstappen was going to be on pole position for sprint qualifying tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can't get my head around
I'm
this.
fastest.
Right, come on, George.
Come
I
on.
reckon a good lap can see him in P7 here. Oh, no, he's already finished his lap. Great, thank you so much. Oh, no, Vettel hasn't done his lap yet. So confusing. Why is the numbers up? I just want to see the times.
Yeah.
I don't care about what driver number they are. George Russell now, come on.
Come on, George.
So Vettel hasn't set a lap time either. That's what confused me. So Vettel hasn't been out the pits? Or he didn't bother with his time? I don't... maybe.
What
I'm
would you
not
do
sure.
if you went purple?
Cry.
I would fall off my chair. Let's see. Okay, it's fine.
You're
3.5
not falling off it
tenths
yet.
down in the first sector. So
He's also the only car out on track at the moment.
Sainz has had a bit of a dodgy lap, to be honest. And if George has a good lap, he could fit ahead. He could just pop himself in P8 here. Because, half a second back on Leclerc is Carlos.
This is going to be good.
Say it a bit louder for everyone else to hear, Katie.
This is going to be good. Sorry, everyone. I keep forgetting I need to shout.
It's fine. It's fine. We're okay. We move. George Russell, through Maggots and Beckett's we come. How far down is he going to be on Lewis Hamilton? It's going to be 0.6 of a second. I mean, Leclerc's in danger as well, if Russell has a solid last sector here.
Come on, George.
Through Stowe Corner he goes. Everyone's cheering him on.
He got an amazing reception.
He did.
When we were in the stand.
Oh, look at that. Lovely bit of picture there. And then we see him. Oh, yeah, that's the camera work we're all after. Over the line, George goes 7th.
Head of both Ferraris.
Wow.
0.8 back.
Listen to the crowd.
Williams are absolutely buzzing with that. George Russell.
Ricardo's not gone out.
Seventh,
there you go.
7th in a Williams.
Yeah, I think there are so many people that really want to jump on his back of him being like a bottler and stuff. And it's like, if you're qualifying in the top 10 in a Williams, it's game over. Like that's it. Like, you've got talent. Like, it's no question.
Russell's got talent.
Russell's
Sounds
got
like
talent.
a good TV show.
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable lap time. Nicholas Latifi out in Q1. I'm not saying Latifi is a worldy driver, but at the same time,
anywhere near though getting out, really, has he?
I think he's been through Q2. Been through to Q2 once.
Maybe?
I think the only time that Latifi
out
out-qualified Russell was when they both got through to Q2. So then he didn't actually out-qualify him. Anyway, here we go. All the drivers ready. Final quali laps.
You ready, guys?
Take a deep breath.
Yeah. This is the first time the three of us have done a quali watch-along.
I know. Oh, you know. It's very
Yeah.
exciting.
Special day.
And it's going to be, hopefully, amazing.
Right, here we go then. Has Lewis Hamilton got it in the bag that home crowd will go wild if he can? Or can Lando Norris get pole?
I would be
Probably
amazed.
not. But yeah, it seems like there's a little bit of a gap between the likes of Norris, Ricciardo, and the guys ahead this time round. Can we see maybe the other times that's going on, potentially? Or just Hamilton? Okay. A 10th purple. A 10th purple. So there is still time out there.
What's Verstappen? No, he's not starting.
He's only just started his lap time. So
Remember, if Lando goes purple, I'm his lucky charm, because every time we do it.
yeah, so Norris isn't far behind Perez, to be honest. And to be fair, Ricciardo's only 0.02 of a second behind Lando.
Yeah, so 4th is up for grabs.
Definitely.
Right.
Let's have a look and see then. Through this incredible
How's
complex of
Max's
corners.
first-
Hamilton's
Hamilton's
he's down.
10th down, he's had a shocker.
Verstappen's down.
Uh-oh.
It's really coming to
I think
Hamilton.
our predictions are
my
good.
2
flying.
2 tenths up.
This is Hamilton's
I
in the
can't
bag.
believe.
Wow.
I cannot believe this.
That is unbelievable for
Where has he
Lewis.
pulled this out from?
Home advantage.
Fantastic.
Ooh, that was track
Wide.
limits, I think. That's going to be...
That's going to be looked into.
Oh, that's a big slide.
Big slide.
That'll cost him. That might cost him.
That is a drift and a half.
Has he lost? Yeah, he's lost all this time.
lost.
So if Max just needs to
my
improve,
gosh.
Oh my
what's
Right,
Max
put it
like
on
in the middle
Max, put it on
sector?
Max, put it on
Oh,
Max.
it's so close.
This is going to be intense.
Oh,
Oh, my
so
word.
Bottas has improved. Vettel goes to 9th. What can Max do? Through Stowe Corner, he's just got to keep it clean. Surely
Come
the
on,
track
Max.
evolution is with him. Just a small improvement in this last
Sainz
sector.
only goes P8.
Yeah, so
Russell's
Russell.
Russell's-
qualified science. Here we go, Verstappen.
Oh my goodness.
Leclerc's gone 4th.
Leclerc's done.
What does Max do? Oh, so close.
Wow.
He didn't do it. Wow.
75 thousandths.
And
Perez goes up
is
to P4. Lando didn't manage to improve. Is Danny Rick out there improving? It doesn't look like it.
Russell's not gone out.
No.
Yeah, he did. He only had one set
Yeah.
of tyres. So Leclerc has improved. He goes to 4th. So Leclerc's gone to 4th.
Perez had his lap time deleted.
Yeah.
Oh,
that'll
that's
be
it. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm guessing if Hamilton hasn't had his time deleted, he's got it.
Wow.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, does it matter? No, it doesn't matter because it was his first one before,
Yeah.
wasn't it? So yeah, Hamilton pole. No one
Fantastic.
saw that coming. Well,
No.
82% of people said Max. So
You can do
I think we all thought
Yeah.
that. I mean, that's an unbelievable performance. And Bottas wasn't far back either. So it's just, Perez getting that lap time deleted is going to affect his race if he can't get past that Ferrari.
Oh, here's on board with Hamilton.
That he had this in the bag and then just got an absolute
Look at
slide
that.
on. I think that's kind of testament to only having had one practice session. Like, you don't see Lewis do that on a push lap, do you?
That is heart and mouth stuff if you are a Hamilton fan.
Yeah. Wowee. What does Lewis say? Wow, they sounded really pumped up, didn't they?
They did.
They were buzzing.
They were not expecting that.
Could I just say how funny it is that Formula One don't have a name for what this is yet? So they just like, Lewis Hamilton is fastest in qualifying. They just say pole.
Yeah. Well then.
I think this has made the sprint race actually
Quite interesting.
because Max is probably going to be in a quicker car behind.
Ooh.
Lewis will want to. This is like Lewis's chance, really, to.
And it is 3 points, remember. 3 points for a win.
It's going to be fascinating to see the risk versus reward of like Hamilton and Verstappen being in the title fight.
So I think, if anything, Hamilton probably won't want to risk too much. If he loses position off the start, fair play. But I think Bottas is going to be the one that will have to risk it a little bit because he'll want front row with Hamilton because he'll want to try and beat Hamilton here. But interesting.
Wow.
Look at that. That was a pretty decent qualifying. You can see Lewis is
Buzzing.
thriving a bit in this championship fight. Like you wouldn't see that, would you? You wouldn't see that usually. I know it's the British Grand Prix and it means a lot to him, but
I don't think he can believe that he's just pulled that out of
No.
nowhere. What
yeah,
a
look
lap.
at that.
What a
Yeah,
lap.
he loves the fans as
He
well.
does. And they love him back, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
That
so
is.
cool.
For having no fans in the grandstands for the longest time.
Oh,
I know
why
we
did we
had
do
some.
this watch-along instead of being in...
No, you're lying.
Shut it, Tommy.
Tommy's going to run away again. Get on those scales. But yeah, wow. What a qualifying. I still can't get over Russell P8.
Russell P8.
Got a race
Great
tomorrow.
opportunity.
Yeah, we have a race tomorrow.
There you go. Well, guys.
This is what it's all about.
Firstly, before you go, please click the like button. I see that we're not at 1k because you've just been enjoying the content. That's fine, but we're done now. Please click that like button. It's been great to do it in person with you guys for the first time ever. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this qualifying watch along. Of course, we've sacrificed going and watching this qualifying session in the stands for you guys. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Sorry if the mic's been a bit quiet or whatever. But yeah, it's been really enjoyable. And we'll have lots more content coming out. We've got a podcast going out tomorrow reacting to sprint qualifying. Then we have another podcast for the race. We have another Internet's Best Reactions going out, of course. All the good stuff, as you would imagine. So very excited to be bringing all of you that stuff. F101 as well, fingers crossed at the end of all of this. So content for days is basically my my summary of all of this. Katie, final thoughts?
I knew you would do this. Final thoughts. Get in there, Lewis.
Okay. Don't get in there, Max.
Yeah. Max looks not under pressure, but like he looked very annoyed that he didn't get pole, of course. But
I wonder. Sorry.
I don't feel like it's too much of a big deal. Obviously, it doesn't mean anything yet. I'm really excited for this sprint race now.
Yeah, so am I. We are not streaming for the sprint race. No, we're going to be actually at the track enjoying it, which will be quite nice to do. Of course, only a 17-lap race, so it's not like we're going to be there for long. But yeah, that's awesome. Let's try and hit 1k likes on the video just for my own OCD. That would be lovely. If you have enjoyed it, please click the like button. You can see it going up. I'm just waiting for that to hit 1,000, to be honest, and then I'll love you all forever and. We'll say goodbye. Anyway, we will say goodbye. My final thoughts are Lewis seems very pumped and I think he will relish this championship fight. He's finally being taken to the absolute limits and extremes with Max Verstappen. So, yeah, fingers crossed we'll get a good race. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching this qualifying watch along. Lots of content coming up on the YouTube channel. Love you long time and we'll see you probably remotely for our next qualifying watch along.
Myself in the face with my own knife because I'm really cramped.
I'm going to do this. Oh, we're hitting 1k. 8 more likes.
Yeah, come on.
There we go. 1k.
Yay!
That's great.
Bye.